Well, hello. It's the end of another exciting and busy week, and I hope this week has been good for you too. So let's spend the next 15 minutes or so together focusing on speaking with our RP British accent. And remember, if you need any extra help and training, do sign up to the British Accent Bundle, because I've just added another Christmas discount for you, so you can start working on your accent to hit those 2025 goals. Head over to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle to sign up, and you'll also find the link in the show notes. Section 1. The Oxford 3000. Have you heard of the Oxford 3000? Now, it was only fairly recently that I became aware of the Oxford 3000, and indeed the Oxford 5000. But how can it help with your British accent? So the Oxford 3000 and 5000 word lists are two popular vocabulary lists created by Oxford University Press. They're designed to help English language learners prioritise the most essential English words they need to know in order to communicate effectively. Unsurprisingly, the Oxford 3000 contains the 3,000 most important words in English, while the Oxford 5000 expands on this list to include the 5,000 most important words. Well, who knew? Now, these words have been carefully selected based on frequency of use and relevance to everyday communication, making them a useful tool for language learners who want to improve their vocab quickly. Of course, improving spoken English requires more than just vocab acquisition, but the Oxford 3000 and 5000 word lists can still be a useful tool for learners who want to improve their spoken English. So here's some ways in which these word lists can help you. Firstly, enhanced fluency. By learning and practicing the most essential words, you'll become more fluent in your spoken English. You'll be able to respond more quickly and confidently when speaking without struggling to recall the right word. Secondly, increased comprehension. If you can understand and use the words included in the Oxford 3000 and 5000 word lists, you'll have an easier time comprehending spoken English as well. You'll be able to follow conversations more easily and pick up on those nuances in the language. And thirdly, improved pronunciation. As you know, pronunciation is an important aspect of spoken English. If you focus on the words included in the Oxford 3000 and 5000 word lists, you'll be able to improve your pronunciation skills. Listen to audio recordings of the words and practice saying them out loud to imitate the correct way to say it in RP. Now, I have a module of the top 500 words in Course 2 of the British Accent Bundle. Use this to hear each word said individually and as you hear it within a sentence. And finally, enhanced communication. Since the Oxford 3000 and 5000 word lists include the most essential words for communication, if you can master these words, you'll communicate more effectively in English. You'll be able to express ideas more clearly and understand others more easily, leading to more successful interactions. So if you've got this list and you struggle with the pronunciation of any particular word in the Oxford 3000, do let me know and I'll do my best to help you get it right. Section 2. Express yourself. What are interjections and how to skillfully use them in speech? Want to make your conversations more exciting and captivating? Looking for ways to spice up your dialogue and grab people's attention? In the next couple of sections, I'd like to explore the wonderful world of the interjection and how it can bring your British English alive. So what is an interjection? They are little exclamations or verbal bursts, which can be single words or short phrases. In written English, they're often followed by an exclamation mark or comma. Though small, they can add a lot of emotion and vitality to our speech. Let me show you the different types of interjections so you can recognise whether you're already using them in your own conversations and identify them when others are including them in their chat. So we have joyful interjections. So these interjections convey happiness, excitement, or delight. So examples would include wow, yeah, or hooray. We also have surprise interjections. When something unexpected happens, surprise interjections help us articulate our astonishment or shock. Phrases like, oh my God, what a surprise! Well, I'll be fall into this category. How about frustration interjections? Now, we all encounter frustrating situations, and these interjections allow us to express our exasperation or annoyance. I use these a lot when I'm driving. So you'll hear, ah, ugh, or oh, come on, are familiar examples. What about some agreement interjections? When we want to show consent or approval, agreement interjections come into play. They help us convey our support or affirmation in a concise manner. So examples would include absolutely, indeed, or you bet. What about sorrowful interjections? In terms of sadness or grief, sorrowful interjections offer solace by allowing us to express our emotions. Phrases such as, oh dear, or how sad, oh no, serve this purpose. So there we have a brief introduction to interjections. I'm sure you've been using many of these already, but now you've got a label to put on them. So in the next section, I'll go over how we can use these little phrases effectively in our speech. Why don't you listen to my 40 Conversations module in Course 2 of the British Accent Bundle? Can you identify any interjections? Where and which ones would you add if you were taking part in each conversation? Section 3. Let your words shine. Interjections and how to use them in speech. So I hope the previous section was a helpful introduction to interjections. Now we've got an idea of what constitutes an interjection, let's take a look at how we can use them in our conversations. So firstly, we can use them to convey emotion. Interjections are powerful tools for expressing emotions, whether it's excitement, surprise, frustration, or sorrow. Interjections allow us to communicate our feelings effectively. Use interjections to create an emotional connection with your listeners and convey the intended tone of your message. Secondly, they can enhance engagement. Interjections add a touch of personality and excitement to conversations, capturing the attention of your audience. They serve as hooks, drawing others into the discussion and creating a lively atmosphere. Incorporate interjections strategically to make your speech more engaging and memorable. Thirdly, contextual awareness. While interjections can enhance your speech, it's important to be mindful of the context in which you use them. Different situations call for different interjections, so adapt your choice of expressions accordingly. Consider the formality of the setting, the topic being discussed, and the expectations of your listeners. Fourthly, natural rhythm. Allow interjections to flow naturally within your speech, ensuring they don't disrupt the overall rhythm and coherence of your conversation. Integrate them at appropriate pauses or moments of emphasis, creating a smooth and organic dialogue. Fifthly, tone and volume. Pay attention to the tone and volume at which you deliver interjections. The way you say them can greatly influence the impact they have on your listeners. Adjust your tone to match the emotion you wish to convey, and vary your volume to add emphasis or subtlety. Number 6. Non-verbal communication. Remember that interjections are not limited to verbal expressions alone. Non-verbal cues such as facial expressions, hand gestures or body language can amplify the effect of interjections. Use them in conjunction with your spoken interjections to create a multi-dimensional communication experience. And finally, practice and observation. Like any skill, incorporating interjections into your speech takes practice. Pay attention to how others use interjections in conversations or presentations. Observe the impact they have and identify patterns that resonate with you. Then experiment with incorporating interjections into your own speech, refining your delivery over time. So let's hear some of these interjections in sentences. If you can, practice repeating and mimicking my accent so you can work on your own RP British accent. Now I'll put a link to this file on the show notes so you can go back and take another listen. Here are some examples of interjections with sentences to illustrate their usage. Joyful interjections. Wow, that fireworks display was spectacular. Wow, that fireworks display was spectacular. Yippee, I got accepted into my dream university. Yippee, I got accepted into my dream university. Surprise interjections. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you won the lottery. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you won the lottery. What a surprise! You planned a surprise party for me. What a surprise! You planned a surprise party for me. Frustration interjections. I can't find my keys anywhere. I can't find my keys anywhere. The traffic is unbearable. This traffic is unbearable. Agreement interjections. Absolutely, let's go ahead with the plan. Absolutely, let's go ahead with the plan. Indeed, that movie was absolutely fantastic. Indeed, that movie was absolutely fantastic. Sorrowful interjections. Oh no, the beautiful flower withered away. Oh no, the beautiful flower withered away. Oh dear, I'm so sorry for your loss. Oh dear, I'm so sorry for your loss. Section 4. So following on from the last two sections about interjections, I've created a quiz to test your knowledge. You can take the full quiz at learningbritishaccent.com/interjections. I'll put the link in the show notes, but let's do a couple of the questions here now. So question 1 is, what is the purpose of interjections in speech? Is it A, to provide facts and information, B, to express emotions, attitudes or reactions, C, to ask questions, or D, to provide instructions? So what is the purpose of interjections in speech? A, to provide facts and information, B, to express emotions, attitudes or reactions, C, to ask questions, or D, to provide instructions. And I'm going to go for B, to express emotions, attitudes or reactions. Question 2. Which of the following is an example of a joyful interaction? Is it oh no? Yay! Seriously? Maybe. So which of these is a joyful interaction? Oh no. Yay! Seriously? Maybe. But I think a yay is quite joyful. Thirdly, true or false? Interjections are primarily used in written language. True or false? Interjections are primarily used in written language. Now I'm going to say that is false. So as I say, if you want to do the rest of the quiz, you can find it on the website, a link in the show notes. I shall make the quiz available to all readers of the website for the next couple of days, but it is usually only accessible to those of you who are members of the British Accent Bundle. So make sure you're signed in when you access the blog section. Section 5. British accent tip for Indian speakers. A common pronunciation error made by Indian speakers of RP British English is mixing up the W, the W sound, with a V, the V sound. Now this happens mainly when the W occurs before vowels A, E, I, or E. Now the consonant W requires that both lips move forward to form a tight circle. W. W. Practice with these words. Would, would, with, women, women, wheel, womb, womb. Now I can show you exactly how to pronounce both these sounds in Course 1 of the British Accent Bundle. You'll find the W sound in Week 5, Day 2 and the V sound Week 8, Day 1. And you'll also find a list of other sounds that Indian speakers should focus on in the pre-module Which Sounds. Well, thanks so much for your company this week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please do rate and review the podcast. 5 stars, please. It really does help get this podcast out to a much wider audience. And if you feel so inclined, please use the links in the show notes to make a donation so I can keep this podcast going well into 2025. Thank you once again for all your support, and let's meet back here next week. Bye for now.